I am. Mm-hmm. Hi Liz. Hi Melissa. Hi Sharon. I am. Okay, we're gonna get started. Today we are showing you our 4th of July bundle. So if you've watched other lives, you know that we've talked about having these bundles, and what they are is they're a set of 3 projects, and they're not huge projects, but it's still a set of 3 different projects for $40. Hi Trudy. Hi Dawn. And I gotta swipe this off my screen. You'd think I'd remember to do that, but I never do. So here are, hi Amber. Here are the 4th of July. So let's do this guy first because he's in the front. It's a stack of 3 4x4 blocks for the American flag. And you can stack these however you want to stack them. If you want to put them side by side, you can do that. Or if you want to put them up like I had them, it's super cute. Anyway, there's probably a couple other ways that you can stack them as well. And then it has the wood cutout star on it. So that's one of the projects in this set. The other one is this cute God Bless America, Land That I Love sign. And again, heart cutouts. Or heart cutouts, star cutouts, jeez. There's that. And then the third piece to the bundle is this super cute star and rocket banner. There are 4 stars and 3 rockets, and it's about 7 feet long, so it would make a great backdrop to hang across, like well, you could hang it on a wall, but a fireplace mantle, or the wall behind like a sofa table, if your sofa table is up against a wall, an entry table. But it's so cute, and we are going to show you how we put this set all together today. So we're going to be painting. And if you were on yesterday's live, we talked about the new adult puzzles. Melissa got those cut, and you guys are going to love them. I'm going to paint them tonight, I think, so I can show them to you on Friday's live. And then what else did she do? Oh, she got another she got something else cut that I want to show you guys on Friday's live as well. And then I also wanted to show you this real quick before we get started painting. And while I'm opening this, on the website, the DIY, for the 4th of July DIY bundle is listed now. So it just went up like 5 seconds ago. So it is available on there for purchase. So this, I talked about the church. I showed you the one, but I forgot to show you the painted one. I didn't have it with me, so I brought it so you could see. And then this is the one with the different phrase, the be still and know. So really cute. Oh goodness. Okay. Hey Ethan.
Yeah.
Can you come do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
My phone is gonna die.
Yeah.
Can you plug it in for me back there somehow? You might have to pull that around a bit.
I'll take this cord and I'll grab my other one.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so say hi if you're on. And if you want to talk, chat, type it into the chat bar there. I don't always see everything as they are posted, and sometimes, I don't know why, sometimes they don't show up until way after the live is over. I have no idea why that happens. But if I see it, I will certainly respond to you. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint these blocks. There's a lot of painting in this, so we'll want to get it started. Thank you, Ethan.
Yep.
My phone was dying already. That tells you how much I've been on it today. And so my son had to plug it in for me. Hi, Carol. Okay, so I am just going to use our traditional colors here. And 2 of your blocks will get painted red and 1 will get painted blue. And you're going to paint the whole blocks. Can you hang the banner outside? No, you cannot hang the banner outside. It's definitely an indoor thing. It will have paper on it. It actually gets covered with scrapbook paper, and you'll see that process in a little bit here, but this project, there's a lot to it, and if I want to get it done in a reasonable amount of time, I have to do things in a specific order so they have time to dry before I get another coat on them and stuff. So our virtual paint party is tomorrow at 6:30, and I know a lot of you that are on here right now are signed up for that. So I'm getting excited about that. Hopefully everything goes well with it. I don't anticipate anything not going right, but you know how that goes. I know there's a bunch of kits sitting on our porch right now, ready for pickup, waiting for their owners to arrive. So remember, base coats always need 2 coats. Same as this is the same way. You want to put 2 coats on it. And I'm just squirting my paint right on there because I have the luxury of doing that. I understand that you guys won't have that, but it's just easy enough for me to do it like that. And what else did Melissa get done yesterday? I feel like she was really, really busy. The cats have decided that one of the yellow sponges is their new toy. Oh, that's good. I mean, unless they start chewing it up and eating it, then that wouldn't be good. So Carol Rupp, not Carol Beaulieu. Carol Rupp did our summer bundle, and I don't know if you guys saw the summer bundle online or not. We didn't talk about it in any of our lives, so it's quite possible you didn't even know we had a summer bundle. But Carol Rupp did our summer bundle, and I was at her house today dropping some stuff off to her, and she showed me her pieces. One set of one of the pieces, which are 6-inch and 8-inch pillars. They're tea light candle holders. And they have little flip-flops on the front of them, and they're super cute. And she showed me her paint job on them, and oh, she did such a good job. I will post the picture later. She didn't want her picture with them. I'm not sure why, but I will post her picture a little bit later. Oh, thanks, Dawn. Nope, one's supposed to be blue, and I got sidetracked. Thank you. Ha ha. It's great when your chatters see you making a mistake. Thanks, Dawn. Good thing I can just go over it with our other color. Ha, Dawn, you guys are company to me. You don't even know. I really look forward to it. I never thought that I would be interested in lives or even making videos for Running with Scissors, but even though I feel like I'm talking to myself, I know that you guys are there, and I like it. And in fact, we have a lot of people that do the same thing that we do across the country. We I know I've talked to you about it before, but we belong to these Creators Connections. It's a subscription-based thing, and a bunch of them do lives too, and they don't have too many people join, just like we don't. You know, we have a handful of the same followers, but I always like to get onto theirs and just at least say hi to them and watch what they're doing as well, because I know, like us, they're probably really, really bored, and they just love their people, and they love what they do, so they want to spend some time with them as well. So you are great for my day also. No, and I appreciate it, Dawn. I would have realized it, I guess, after the fact, but thanks for catching that, and thanks for putting it on the chat so I could see. So this is going to be the God Bless America sign, and I'm just going to paint this white. And remember, we just brushed, oh, I forgot my white is clogged. My paint at home here needs some TLC. I feel like I haven't had time to give it that TLC though. And you shouldn't just dump your paint on your board like I do. Don't put it on a plate or a piece of paper or something and pick it up off of that with your sponge. It's like a do as I say, not as I do situation. So remember, when we paint, we wipe. We just wipe our paint on in thin coats. Your coat should be thin enough that you're seeing the grain through. And that's good for the first coat. That's perfect. And then we'll give our base coats too. I put my white on very, very thin though, so sometimes my white actually needs a third coat. Looks much easier that way. Hi, Bailey. Yeah, it is actually easier that way, but it's it could backfire on you. So talk to me and I'll talk to you. Don't have a whole bunch of things on my mind right now to talk about, but oh, you know what I didn't do yet today? Oh, hi Nancy, it's nice to see you. I did not cut my soap yet today because I got up this morning around 5:30 or 6 o'clock and I started filling orders. We had a lot of orders to fill. So I still have to cut my soap that I made yesterday, which I'm pretty excited about because it's been a while since I've made soap. The flag blocks are super cute too. We think so as well. I don't know how we came up with it, but they're cute. It's a project I'm excited about. So 2 coats on the flag blocks should be enough. Remember, we still have to paint the stripes on these, but it's easier to paint the entire thing red and put the white stripe on. And then we'll paint the blue one. You're looking forward to the soap class, Carol? Yes, I am looking forward to it. I hope that you guys get a lot out of it. It's going to be a good one for you. We promise to make it a great class. It kind of kills me because all the supplies are in and we've had to postpone it, and so I'm sitting and looking at all the supplies, and it's kind of a bummer. All right, so let's paint the block blue like it's supposed to be painted. But look how well that covered. I know my lighting is terrible. I don't know what to do. I messed with the lights for, I don't know, a good 10 minutes today to try and get them better, but it didn't work. So it is what it is. I feel like I should relocate back upstairs, but I kind of like it down here. It's really loud upstairs. So with these projects, and I'm sure I mentioned it yesterday, you don't have to do every piece at one time. And you could spread this project out over a couple of days, even 3 days, like if you just want to do one project a day. And most Most of our bigger projects are around $40. So if you signed up for a workshop, generally it's around $40. So what's really nice about this is it's $40 and it's 3 projects. Yeah, they're a little smaller, but still, you know, especially for a DIY. Now you can do this at a workshop as well. If we ever get back to doing workshops, you will be able to purchase this and complete it at the workshop. Most of our workshops last about 3 hours, no matter what size they are. I don't know why. I think people just like to be there and hang out, and it's kind of a calm, relaxing atmosphere. So they take 3 hours, and it doesn't matter what size project you have. Most of the time, it's 3 hours. So this project to complete probably would take right around 3 hours. So yeah, a workshop's totally plausible. You missed the Amazing Graces. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people that come to those, because we've got kind of a good crowd of the same followers. I bet a lot of people are missing those. I watch a few crafters live and they all have the same problems with their lighting. Oh, well, that's good to know that's not just me. I mean, this room is kind of dark. It's kind of weird. It's got I know you heard me say it before, but we are in a bi-level home, and I'm in the lower level, so we're 4 feet in the ground, but there's a cold air return, so some kind of ductwork that goes through the middle of this room that divides it. And so it cuts off a lot of the light. So the window's on that end, and I'm on the back end, and the ductwork is going right here. So I think it blocks a lot of the good light from the window. And there's no window back here because I insisted upon having 3 sets of closets put in down here when we bought the house. And they're all full. And we probably never even opened the doors to most of them. It's sad. It's what you do. You fill closets full of stuff and then never do anything with them. Okay, so let's get our blue finished. And I always talk about food while we're doing these, so it wouldn't be right if I didn't talk about food. Last night, I made taco chicken for dinner, and taco chicken is probably something most of you have never even heard of, or if you think you know what taco chicken is, you probably really don't. Not the kind of taco chicken that we make. It's not even taco. I don't know where this came from, but my friend Chris was, in her former life, a merchant marine, and she cooked on the boat, on the ship. And I don't know what the proper term is. My husband would probably correct me if he were sitting right here, but she used to make this recipe, and it was called taco chicken, and she gave the recipe to me probably 20 years ago, and my family loves it, which is kind of funny because my family doesn't really eat anything. And what it is it's a Dorito crust, so you crush up nacho cheese Doritos in the bottom of a casserole dish, and then you top that with cooked chicken breast, like you shred it or you cube it, and then you mix up 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, 2 cans of red enchilada sauce, and a diced onion, and some garlic salt, and 2 cups of shredded, it calls for sharp cheddar, but I think I just use Colby, whatever I have. And is that it? Oh, a can of chicken broth. And you mix that all up, whisk it all together, and you dump that over top of the chicken, and then you top it with some more cheese and crushed up Doritos, and you bake it, and it's delicious. It's so good. It's the kind of, we're not leftover people. We never eat leftovers, but this is one of the things that we will eat leftovers. In fact, they'll fight over it. It's kind of like my husband's mother's goulash, or the goulash when my husband makes it, because I can't make goulash like him and his mom. And I swear I do it the same way, but it's not the same. So anyway, so they'll fight over the leftovers of taco chicken. And it is really good. It's sounds gross, but it's good. Yep, sounds good to you. I don't think it really sounds that good. I think it sounds gross, but it is really good. And I like to make I like to put sour cream on mine, because I think everything's better with sour cream. So, okay, so these blocks are as painted as I'm going to paint them, the red ones. I had to recycle one from my garage, but just so I had enough to do this. We haven't gone to the lumber store, and I know that we talked about that once before. So like our 4x4 situation is really bad. This one I didn't paint the bottom of it, and I probably won't. But when you do this, you should paint all sides. Okay. Everything I make is good. I don't know about that. I mean, that's probably a stretch. Spaghetti here again tonight. Spaghetti for you, Dawn. Yeah, I like spaghetti. I had a little joke with my husband the other day. I bought a loaf of French bread, and I said, "Hey, guess what's for dinner?" Again. And he goes, "Spaghetti." I'm like, "Yep, spaghetti again." But everybody likes it, so I don't know if we'll go back to eating out as frequently as we did before or not. I don't know. I think probably one of the main reasons that we eat out a lot is because I'm the only one that ever cooks, unless it's like goulash. And I get really tired of cooking all the time, because then everybody expects me to clean up as well. And I just don't think that's fair. Why do I have to cook and clean? It's just not right. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is start my stars from the banner. Now, you don't really have to paint these. However, you want to paint the edges, because the edges are going to show. So, and it doesn't matter what color you put on them. So I'm just going to grab my blue sponge, and I'm going to paint. And then when I'm painting these, I'm just getting it slightly on the front. Just a little bit. Not the whole thing, because it doesn't need it, because we're going to cover it with paper. But in case my paper's not wide enough, I want to make sure that it goes over just a little bit on the front side. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. You don't have to do the back side unless you want to. Hi, Rachel. All right, now this is the star that goes on the blue square. So I'm going to paint this one white. You know what else Melissa and I were talking about, and I'm not sure if anybody would be interested, but we have an overwhelming amount of projects that we call them our demos or our samples. So it's the projects that we make just to try things out, and then they end up sitting around and we need to sell them. So I told Melissa that we should have a live sale. So like we would line everything up and we would put a price on it, and then we would just do like this, talk to you and say, okay, so this project is, describe it and say it is project number, give it a number, and then say that it is the price, like, $35. And then you would comment and tell us, sold, I want number 34. Now, the way that would work is whichever one we see on the screen first. So, I had said before that I don't always see your comments, and I don't know why that is. Some of them don't show up until well after, but that's how it would work. So, you would say sold or whatever, and write the number in that of the project that you wanted. And then when we see it pop up on screen, that's the person who gets it. And then we would, announce that so-and-so bought that project. And I should add that on these cutouts for the banner, we started this project before we had the laser cutter. And now that we have the laser cutter, Melissa is using the laser. So sometimes the edges are going to be the char, so you won't have to paint those. And I would imagine for all the kits going forward, they will be cut on the laser because it's so much faster than using the CNC for these. So I had to paint the edges of the star, but you probably won't have to paint them. Makes sense? Because it will already be painted. Okay, what's next? So this guy. Let's paint this guy. I am going to paint, so when I paint this, I'm going to paint this whole body red, and I'm going to paint the fuse like black or gray, and I'm going to paint the arrowhead part of it in the blue. And I'm going to use a brush because I have more control over it with a brush, but you will get sponges in your kits. So if you like brushes better, picking up a kit of brushes is not a bad idea. The live would be fun, Trudy. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we're really new to doing lives. Our Facebook page has grown substantially in the last couple of months. However, we're still really new to lives, so I'm not really sure how much traffic we would get, but it might be, I don't know, it might get some projects out there at least, and some projects out of our storage, because we are running out of room. So that's all I can't go left when I'm supposed to go right. I just can't do it. So I'm just painting that top part. And then I'm going to paint this part. If you're on, say hi so I know you're here. And I keep forgetting that this is clogged. And I can't wait for you guys to see the adult puzzles. When I say adult puzzles, I almost feel like I was going to paint this red, and I painted it white. Oh well, I'll paint it white and I'll do the stripes in red. When I say adult puzzle, it makes them sound like they're not fit for kid viewing, and that's totally not what it is. It's just that it's a challenging project. And I think a lot of times when we say puzzle, we think kids. So that's the reason behind that. Haha, Carol. Okay, you're joining us late. An adult puzzle. Okay, so let me explain a little bit without giving too much away. So Melissa and I, we try to find these projects that you guys can afford without breaking the bank all the time. I know you've heard me say it a lot that these are definitely wants and not needs. And sometimes, we just got to say no to this kind of stuff because we can't afford it. And we totally get that. So we have come up with some really inexpensive projects to get us through the next couple of months, to keep you doing things, and, to keep us busy as well, and to keep some business rolling for us. So I'm going to show you those on Friday. And then the other thing that we came up with at the same exact time as coming up with a really inexpensive thing, is we came up with they're a little bit more money, so like more on the line of being an average price, project price. But we're calling them adult puzzles because I don't know what else to call them. And I don't want to give too much away about it because I want you to see and be really excited about it. But it's a very challenging piece of decor made out of wood. So you'll have to paint it and put it together. And there are several design options. We worked all of those out the other night, and we have all the designs ready. So I think there are seven designs, and we're going to add more because it's already in my head what I want to do with them. So over the next couple of days, I'll work on those files. So I'm calling them adult puzzles because I don't know what else to call them. And again, it's wood decor that you have to paint, but it's something you have to put together as well. So, and it makes sense when you see them why I'm calling them what I am. Rachel's excited to see the puzzles. I can't wait to paint one. They're sitting right over there. It's really tempting to want to grab them and show them to you. But I'm not going to. And then the new inexpensive projects that we have in store for you are sitting right there as well. And I'm going to paint all of those tonight. Melissa's got a handful at her house that she's going to paint. So hope that you like those. And I'm still designing. So I think we have about, I don't know, 30 or 40 designs right now for those inexpensive ones. But I'll just keep designing. And I'm not always going to call them the inexpensive ones. They actually have a name, but I don't want to reveal too much. So I want to show you, I want to be able to show you on Friday what they are. Okay, so this is what I've done. This is what I've done with my rocket. I painted the body red in the fused gray. And I know I said that I was going to paint the body red, but when I talk, I can't think about more than one thing at a time. So that's what happens. I think it would have been easier to paint it red first and then do white stripes, but now I have to do it in the reverse order and whatever. Okay. So we got all that. All right, I'm going to start this guy so I can keep moving forward here. And I have a very small space that I work in right here, so everything is like on top of each other. Okay, so we're just gonna put our stencil on, and I just grabbed a piece of scrap, or Melissa grabbed me a piece of scrap wood. So I'm not 100% sure that the stencil is gonna be the same exact size as my wood piece. However, when you get stencils from us, they are cut to fit the wood piece, so you don't have to line anything up. And that's kind of like the great thing about it. It's all lined up on the computer ahead of time. But mine, because it's just a piece of scrap, I might have to, it might hang over, it might not be quite big enough. I don't know yet until I put it on there. We just kind of eyeballed it and said, hey, that looks like it might work. Yeah, see, it's a little big. But when you get yours, it will come lined up exactly. See how it doesn't quite go to the edges? Yours won't be like that. Yours will go straight to the edge and be exactly the right size. So I just have to be a little bit more careful when I paint so I don't make a mess. So here's a trick that you can do too if you get stencils from us and like maybe you're afraid that this word is too close to this word, and you want, for some reason it's telling me that my phone is, bye Carol. It's telling me my phone battery is dying, and I don't know why, because it's plugged into power. So I hope I don't lose you guys, and I'm sorry if I epic fail at that. But anyway, so if you believe like this word is too close to this word and you're going to get paint and you want to paint them 2 different colors and you're afraid you're going to get the wrong color paint on, you can take your mask and you can save it, and then you can just lay it over top of one of them while you paint the other. So it's kind of worth holding on to this until you're done. And if you don't have any place to put it, you can just like slap it up on the wall for a minute and leave it there until you need it, or until you're completely done and then you want to throw it away. All right. So I'm going to paint America in blue, and that's the only thing I'm going to do in blue. And so when we paint, remember we use these white wedges and we dip them into the paint, and then we dip off or dab off, so we don't have a ton of paint on our sponge. And then we do a like pouncing method of getting our paint onto our project. And our coat should be very, very thin. We just want one thin coat to start. And then we want it to dry all the way, but because our coats are so light, it should dry very, very quickly. However, I'm just going to keep moving. And I'm going to start the red. Same way, different sponge. And of course, all of my sponges are recycled, so they look atrocious, but they're functional. We paint every single day, so there's no sense in throwing our sponges away. We just rinse them out. And if you're on the live right now and you're joining us for the Blue Jeans virtual workshop on the Blue Jeans software platform, we are having a trial run tonight at 4 o'clock, just to make sure that you guys understand how to connect. I know for a lot of you haven't done video conferencings yet. This is like a time when they're getting really popular because of the quarantine. So some of you are a little bit nervous. We're going to have a run through at 4 o'clock just to make sure that it worked out okay for you and you understood what to do. So tonight will just be a test run. Right, so if your paint is thin enough, you can actually start your second coat almost as soon as you finish your first one. Now remember that you can tell if it's dry by holding it up to the light and looking to see if it is still shiny. And if it's still shiny, then it's not dry, it's still wet. But if it has like just a matte finish to it, it's dry, and you can start your next coat. Okay, let's give my red another coat. No one's talking to me. Is there anybody left on this? Are you guys still there? So we're starting to think about Mother's Day gifts and Father's Day gifts. So we have a few of those ideas up our sleeves, and we should have something to show you in the next week or so. We're getting to the part where it's difficult because we're not supposed to be leaving the house and not going places, and so now it's getting difficult to get stuff. You don't know if you'll be able to do the practice, but hopefully it just works. Rachel, it should be, I mean, Dave and I did a run through on it, and it worked fine. Luann was freaking out a little bit. She was having problems. I don't know. I think it's not, I mean, I don't think there's going to be any issues at all, but I'm sure you're going to be just fine. We won't start until we get everybody hooked up, but it's therapeutic to watch me. Oh, that's good. All right. I'm going to set this guy aside and let him dry before we do any more to him. And I'm going to put the stripes on this. So in your kit, you will get 2 sets of stripes, and it just looks like nothing, but there's really stripes in there. And we don't peel out the one you don't need yet, because we want you to, I'll show you, it's easier. It's easier to line up if we don't take one out, because you peel off the top edge one. Okay, so this is towards me, but you're just gonna line the stencil up to the edges and then wrap around. And then you're gonna squeegee it down. You think I'm essential? Oh my god, I love it. Thanks, Carol. I feel like I'm essential. I mean, I feel like I should be able to get whatever wooden paint I want. And I tell you what, we have sold so many kits during this quarantine that our paint is so low. Like, we ran out of stencil vinyl today. So we had to cut all of our own personal projects in regular vinyl, which is fine. That's how we did it before they ever came out with stencil vinyl. So, you know, that's not that big of a deal for us. But our paint, oh my gosh, our paint is so low. It's going to cost hundreds of dollars to get our paint refilled when it's time. Yeah, so I feel like I'm essential, but they don't feel that way. Wood, we're almost out of wood. I think Melissa said that she's got 1 sheet of wood left. So, okay, so then once you get that on, we have these cut over, so there's going to be a little bit at the end, but it's just so that we can be sure that there's enough, and I'll show you what to do with it in just a second. So we're going to peel off the transfer tape, and we had to put the transfer tape on to make all the stripes stay together. Can you order paint online? Yeah, yeah, we can get our paint ordered online. It's just, I think it's easier. I think it's just easier to get it when we can actually talk to somebody about it. I don't know. It's just personal preference, I guess, on how we want to do it. But yeah, we can definitely do it online. It just takes forever. Okay, so the first stripe should be white. So I'm going to peel off that piece. All right. Now, don't mind that. Remember what I said. This was scrap I had in the garage. So then we're going to peel off every other one. And it will make sense why we left all of these in place. Because you have to be able to line these up on the block. But if I only gave you these 2 stripes, you wouldn't know where to start your stencil for placement. So we just put them both on there. It just makes it easier. And then we just wrap this extra around. Just like that. Okay. And then the rest of this gets painted white. I'm going to do both of these so I can paint both of them at the same time. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you do watch the replay. I'm not going to lie, sometimes I rewatch the replays just to see how much of an ass I made out of myself sometimes. And I won't lie, I go back and edit them. So sometimes I'll take stuff out, which I didn't realize I could do until, I don't know, after a few lives. Then I'm like, oh, I can edit these. So yep, I started editing them. All right. So again, just line the stencil up at the very top and then start wrapping around the block. Okay. And then squeegee it down. And then we're going to pull off our transfer tape. And then we're just going to go back through and squeegee it down again just to make sure it's good. Because I try to make it square, so sometimes the edges will have where you need to put a crease in them at the corners. And then we're going to peel off the top, middle, and bottom. And then we're just going to wrap the leftover around. And that's it. Okay. Now we can paint this guy. All right, so we are gonna paint these. And the way that we do that is with a white sponge, just like everything else. We dab on the color. And I just go to the top. I don't think I painted. Nope, I left them red. So, can you see what I'm doing? And you'll need 2 or 3 coats. I didn't mean to get all that up there. I'll have to fix that. Slipped. You'll need 2 or 3 coats on this. And I think, again, it probably seems more practical that you would dab the red paint. But I think the white paint covers much better over the red than the red covers over the white. Which is why I wanted to paint my rocket the opposite way, but because I can't think and talk at the same time, I messed that up. So you'll see the difference when we start painting that stripe on. You think you want to try this one, Sharon? It's really a cute kit. It really is. It's on the website with the picture that we took of it. So if you wanted to go look at the website, you would be able to see what it looks like. The whole kit put together. Okay, so we're going to set that aside and we're going to get the next one going. Dawn, I am going to paint your order tonight, so it is all cut. It just needs to be painted, so I'm going to do that one tonight when I do the adult puzzle. Now this block, this is the block that was salvaged from the garage junk pile. It is rounded and everything, so it doesn't look super great, but I didn't want to have, well, we don't have any 4x4s. We're out of 4x4s. So it was just gonna do for the demo for the live. It shouldn't be rounded this much. And it's not going to look the same as where I'm going with it. It's not going to look the same as the other one. And I have, like, you don't know where to stop the paint. Do you stop it at the where it starts the curve, or do you go all the way over to the curve? So this one's not going to look that great. But for the demo, it's fine. Yeah, so it will be ready for you for Saturday, no problem. Just got to paint it tonight. All right, we'll let them dry, and then I am going to put my last coat on this. Remember, 3 coats. It looks good at 2, but I promise you that 3rd coat makes a ton of difference. Blue. Gonna be a hard oh, I know. In the pictures she keeps posting on Facebook of the kiddos. Oh, he's so cute. So cute. He's an adorable little kid. Adorable baby. I can imagine as a grandma, it's probably really difficult. Hey kiddo, can you grab that package of baby wipes for me? That green, it's the green one. Yeah, thank you. Your hair looks good. Okay, we're gonna set this guy to the side and let him dry, and that's the last coat that he needs. So we're just gonna throw that to the side for a bit. All right, now let's talk about how we do the banner. So you're gonna need 2 sheets of scrapbook paper that does not come with your kit. And here's the reason why. We're not including the scrapbook paper because we really don't know what your tastes are. Maybe you don't want to do this in red, white, and blue. Maybe you want to be sky blue, and I don't know. We have 50, 60 colors of paint, so maybe you're not gonna pick the traditional colors. So that's totally up to you. But you want your scrapbook paper to match the colors that you do your project in. So I don't know what your tastes are, and it's just seems like it's a lot easier to let you go buy 2 sheets of scrapbook paper that you like from a store. Now, do you need to use scrapbook paper? No. You could paint these a solid color and maybe put polka dots on them or stripes or whatever you want to do with them. But the kit is intended to use scrapbook paper. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your cutout, just the stars, and you're going to put them on the scrapbook paper, and you are going to trace the star. Hi, Luann. And you're going to trace it 4 times because you have 4 stars. And then you are going to cut those out. Now, when you cut it out, make sure that you cut to the inside of your line, because if you cut to the outside, then the paper will be too big for the star. And we want to cut just to the inside, so it's just inside the size of the cutout of the wood. So you got to kind of be clean with your cutting. This ain't no 2nd grade cut job. Make it clean. And you remember, you got to do this 4 times. So get all these cut out at once to make your life a little bit easier. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to take my cutout and I'm going to take Mod Podge, which we do give you in your kit. Hi, Carly. We were just talking about your cute little kiddo, Carly. And you will get a foam brush in your kit. So you'll want to apply your Mod Podge with a foam brush. But I don't have foam brushes, so I'm just using a regular brush. So when you put your Mod Podge on, you're just going to want to start from the center and move out. And just a thin coat. You don't want it super thick, but now you do have to, work kind of quickly because this will dry very quickly. So work on 1 at a time. Remember, you're going to do 4 of these. So 1 at a time, start with your Mod Podge in the center and then just draw it out. Thin coat. And then right away, you're going to take your paper and you're going to put it on the star and smooth it down. And then just keep smoothing it down until it dries. The Mod Podge dries very quickly, especially if you have that really thin coat. So just keep smoothing it down until it dries. Now the reason why we want to do it like this is because if you don't, you will get wrinkles in your paper. And I don't like it when I put paper and Mod Podge on something and I have wrinkles. I like it to be nice and smooth. So it'll take a minute or 2, but just keep working it. Now if your paper goes over just a little bit, you can't see that, but just a little bit right there, you can take your scissor up close and just trim it down. I think that's the only one. Right here, just a little tiny bit. And then that's why we also let our paint run over just a little in case the paper is a little bit short. That way you don't see bare wood and you just see painted. Okay, so now the bottom layer Mod Podge is dry and our paper is completely flat down. So now we're just going to put a coat of Mod Podge on the top of it. And I'm using Sparkle Mod Podge because that's what I have at home. But in your kit, you just get plain color Mod Podge. And I don't even think it's Mod Podge brand. I think it's Decoupage. But it's just easier to call it Mod Podge. So once again, just a really thin coat, work from the center out. And then make sure you get it all the way to the edges. Now you're going to do this 4 times. You got 4 stars, you're going to do it 4 times. Remember, nice thin coats. Okay, I'm just going to set it aside and let it dry. And I'm going to move on to something else. You saw someone using a sanding. Yep, you can use a sanding block to get those edges of paper off. However, that's going to give a little bit of a different look. So it will, and if that's the kind of look you're going for, that's the perfect way to do it. You can take a really fine sandpaper, which we usually use 440. And you can sand the edges, or you can use a foam sanding block. Ethan, you want to grab that? Yes, perfect. Thank you. This is a foam sanding block, and most of the time these come with different grits on each side and even on the sides. So you can get one of these and you can just sand those edges. I don't really have anything to show you. Maybe when that one's dry, I'll show you how it will turn out. Thanks, John. Let's see, what are we gonna do next? Let's put another coat on these guys. So I've been live for an hour now, and we're still working on this project. So you see what I mean, how this project could be spanned out over a couple of days. We still have 2 more quotes to put on this one. Or, I'm sorry, well, I'm in the middle of the second, so we still have the third. And we still have the other stripe block to do. And we still have all the gluing left and the rockets left. So this project could span a couple of days, or if in a workshop, it would take the duration of the 3 hours. And you still have 3 rockets, so 2 rockets to paint fully, 1 to put stripes on, and you have 3 more stars to do. So it's quite a big project if done all together. You know you have plenty of time. I think we all have plenty of time. I'm done with this. I'm so done with it. I'm ready to get life back. I have been saying for the last 2 summers I was going to see my friend Maggie in North Carolina, and I didn't make it there last spring break. And I told my husband, I don't care what has to happen, I am going to North Carolina this summer to see Maggie. And so he was actually, just before I started the live, he was down here talking to me about what weekend or what week we're going, because he has to put in for the time off well ahead of me. So we know we are going June like 14th. We're leaving June 14th, I think. It's a Sunday. Carol, you did your summer bundle over 5 days just to stretch it out. Well, that's perfect. That's perfect. The summer bundle was a pretty decent project also. It has a set of 4x4 pillar candles. They're 6 and 8 inches high. It has a set of 2x4s with cutout flip-flops. Oh, it's super cute. That sits on like a set of 2x4s. One is horizontal, one is vertical, and they say life is better in flip-flops. And the flip-flops are super cute because they're layered. And it's I don't know, it's super cute. All right, so this guy is dry, and I'm gonna put my stripes on him now, and I'm just gonna do red stripes. Remember, I messed this up. I wanted to paint the body red, but I painted it white instead. So now we gotta go back and we just gotta do the red stripes instead of white stripes, because I messed up. Yeah, so June 14th is D-Day. We are leaving for North Carolina. We're gonna spend some of the trip in North Carolina and some in South Carolina. Okay, so doesn't matter where you start your stripe at. I'm just gonna start it down. My first stripe's gonna be white. So let's see if I can get this in here. And I'm kind of working backwards, but I just take the brush and I just do whatever the width of the brush is. I do a stripe, and I don't worry about it being perfect. That's it. That's all I'm doing. If you want it to be perfect, you can take masking tape or painter's tape, and you can tape it off so it's perfect. But that's all I'm gonna do. I will show you her 4x4 blocks when we're done with this, but I didn't get a picture of her flip-flops. And I don't think that she is able to post a picture either. If she can, she will, but I don't think she can. So that's all, stupid. That's all I'm gonna do with that. And I'm just gonna let that dry. And remember, you're gonna do this 3 times. You got 3 rockets. All right, I'm done with this guy. All right, let's peel the mask off of this, or the stencil off of this. Remember, our stencils are not reusable. It's a one-time thing, so they will come apart when you peel them off. I lost my tweezer. No, I put it away where it goes, so I couldn't find it. It's novel. Hi, Kristen. Hope you're doing good, Kristen. We haven't seen you in quite some time. So in your kits now, you get a safety pin and a toothpick, and you can use either the safety pin or the toothpick to weed your vinyl. My tweezers are very, very bent, so they're not working the greatest. And my lighting is terrible, so it's hard for me to see where the edges are to grab the stencil to pull it off. If you want to see our summer bundle, we do have a video, a how-to video on how to paint it. We are trying to move to mostly video instructions because it takes so long to write out instructions for everything. Sometimes it's just easier to do the video instructions. So we have a YouTube channel, and we have our like instructional videos. Those are where those are stored. So you could go to our YouTube channel or find us on YouTube, and you can see the instructional videos there. And so then the summer bundle instructional video is on that one. And then one thing that we started also is if you buy a kit and we've made an instructional video, we include a QR code in your kit. And all you have to do is scan it with your camera phone, and it will take you straight to the video. So that's kind of convenient and nice, easy. Yeah, we miss seeing you, Kristen. We're all doing good. We're all doing good. Hope you're staying safe out there. Kristen is part of our craft club. And we haven't had craft club in quite a while, so we haven't seen her in quite a while. And she is a nurse. So hi, Brandy. All right, almost done with this guy. Then we're gonna put one more coat on our stripes, And then we're going to do all the final finishing touches. So we're almost done.